Hey guys, Brandon here with Texas Plinking. Before we get into today's video on pistol caliber carbines, I want to give a massive thanks to our sponsor, which is the Elite U. Elite U is a way to transform yourself by providing lessons and knowledge from some of the most elite people in the world. It's a video platform that provides raw, no-nonsense, realistic world skills that allows you to prevail in situations without weapons, with edged weapons, pistols, carbines, clearing your house, driving, and so much more. I'll be sure to put a link in the description to the Elite U so you guys can check them out, sign up, and become a badass. Without any further ado, let's get on to today's video. Hey, what's going on guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, and I want to address a particular series of guns that's actually one of my favorite for just recreational kind of plinking around. Of course, they have realistic applications, I'm sure, but I'm all about recreation. And we're going to be talking about PCCs, or pistol caliber carbines. However, for legal reasons, these aren't exactly PCCs. They are pistol caliber carbine type of pistols, because these identify as pistols. Okay, we don't want to hurt their feelings. They don't have stocks and they don't have vertical grips. They're pistols, just so we're clear, except one of them is actually a registered SBR. I'll go from the 9th all the way to the 1st of my top 9, I suppose, PCC type pistols, and which one's my favorite for whatever reason, again coming from a recreational point of view. All right, well, the first one's going to be a little bit of a cheat, okay, because this is of course a pistol like the majority of them, but a handgun pistol, more traditional. This is a Glock 19 Gen 4, and I brought it out here for a particular reason. All right, well, what we have here is the MCK, or the micro conversion kit. It kind of converts it over to something that resembles somewhat like a PCC, but it's always been the same Glock. So yeah, of course it takes Glock mags. Now we're gonna go ahead and swap mags. And this is now the charging handle, and it kind of clamps onto the slide. Kind of neat. Some people really don't like it, but it's kind of cool. It's always a good time. I just realized I haven't shot this in a long time. I'll probably overlay some info because I'm not gonna remember everything off the top of my head. But yeah, I remember the price point. You probably already have a Glock, or if not, you know what those run for. But the micro conversion kit itself isn't that bad. It's a matter of a couple $100 maybe. All right, next on the list, again, we are moving in the order from least favorite to most favorite. Now, I don't want anyone to get upset because every gun I have, I really like. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it. But yeah, so we got the P90, or of course, more specifically, the PS90, S for semi-automatic. It's the civilian legal one. And this is a registered SBR, quite expensive little round, but it's an icon for sure. So the PS90 usually comes with a atrocious long barrel, so you have to do the SBR in my opinion. For recreational shooting and collectability, I love it. But otherwise, there's another option later in this list that's 5.7x28 that I think is a little bit better. That 5.7x28 doesn't have enough power to swing that little tree. I remember the first time I shot one, it did the same thing. If you just have a little bit of even peach fuzz, it will catch you as you pull away from the gun. And just a little piece of your hair is always gonna be left on this thing. Anyway, bearded people, just take note. Oh, you got me again, bastard. No lock back. Again, guys, I know it's lower end on the list, so I don't want to hurt any feelings. I know a lot of people like the CZ Scorpion EVO. I don't dislike it. There's just a lot to be, I don't know, there's a lot to be desired, I guess. The charging handle is super tiny. I feel like I'm going to scrape myself on it. It's partially ambi. The fire selector is, but if there's one thing I wish it wasn't ambi, it was a fire selector, because it's kind of in the way, but not too bad. Yet your mag release, I'm sorry, your bolt release is not ambi, so it's like a pick and choose what's ambi, what's not. This one feels more so like a Nerf gun. I know 9mm, you know, it's not a high recoiling round, but it is a snappy round, and this one just snaps more than I think it should. But I've never suppressed it, so we might add a suppressor, see how it changes. Maybe go subsonic too. We'll have some fun with it. One cool style point here, you can slap it. I just know, compared to other guns that we're gonna go into this list, I just can't stay on target quite as easily. So how many rounds I leave myself? A couple. Here, let's go ahead and pop this one out in the chamber. And let's just see if we can really tone it down with a suppressor and then subsonic. Maybe I'll like it a little bit more. All right, so it's got a thread protector over a thread protector. So this little thing clamps onto these little teeth. And then you're finally over that. put that off to the side. It's like a muzzle device, flash hider, muzzle brake, not sure what that's all about. Then you have this, which is covering your 1/2x28 threads. Then we're good to put a suppressor on there. And again, want to say a big thanks to Silencer Shop, because this suppressor is in fact powered by them. I got this one about a year or so ago. And of course, Silencer Shop, as I've said in the past, make the process much easier for setting up a trust and just getting you squared away. And I've got 2 in motion right now through their E-forms. Excited to see how that plays out. Should be quite a bit of a shorter wait time. So again, thanks to Silencer Shop. Let's quiet things down here and see what it feels like. Supersonic. I forgot, I just cleaned the suppressor. That's why it looked like a musket. Oh my gosh. It vapes, baby. Okay, well, it did tame a little bit of that recoil. I mean, any 9mm is just freaking cool suppressed. Subsonic should be a really good time. Yeah, I'll be honest, man, I expected a little bit better. I mean, it ran, locked back, so that's all good. Reliability, this thing's never failed me, so I got nothing against it in that front. This thing still kicks more than I wish it did, even with a suppressor on there with a subsonic 9. It's just more violent than it needs to be, just a 9mm. This here is the CMMG Banshee in 10mm. AR9s are 9mm. This is 10mm. It's not an AR10 because it's not 308. It's just an AR. Okay, it's an AR that shoots 10mm. It's awesome. All right, from one CMMG Banshee to the next being in 10mm. Now this one's a lot smaller. This one's in 45 ACP. If you don't suppress it, it's still cool. It's nice and compact. But if you suppress it, oh man, it's something else. Very, very fun gun. Let's go ahead and play some footage of it suppressed. All right, moving on up, the Grand Power Stribog SP9A3. I have a A1 direct blowback at home. I didn't bring it just because they're so similar, and it would have slotted just under this one. So I do like this one ever so slightly more. It's a little bit flatter to shoot, but you really can't tell until you go back and forth between them. Nonetheless, the price is right. It comes with 3 mags. It looks super, super cool. Totally ambidextrous. Got a little Vortex Crossfire red dot on here. So the whole package is actually pretty economical. Yeah, from my memory, I really like this thing suppressed. We'll start off with supersonics. Yeah, that seems awesome, man. I like that a lot more. We'll go back to the steel. So much easier to stay on target. All right, well, that was a supersonic. Let's go ahead and dump that over to some subs. Oh, wow, I totally loaded that into the wrong mag. That's a Scorpion mag. We'll be right back. 7 rounds of subsonic in the right mag now. Yeah, that thing feels like a little 22, really. Yeah, so much quieter. I should have taken the hearing off to really compare, but that thing's way quieter. The Grand Power Stribog, both the SP9A1 and A3, subsonic, supersonic, suppressed, unsuppressed, it always just is a good time. This here, man, is like almost a kept secret in the shooting world. Not enough people talk about it. It's one of my favorites, as it is in my top 3. Of course, I understand why not everyone gets around to buying one, because this is the second and the last gun on this list that is chambered in 5.7x28. And so I will call this a PCC type pistol, because there's a lot of pistols chambered in this, like handguns. I think PSA came out with one, you have Ruger, you have FN, so hopefully it gets more adapted, because it's a very cool round. It literally, in this platform, kicks as much or even less than a 22 without the unreliability. It's still a center fire cartridge. All right, tell you what, this is gonna be expensive. However many I have in here, we're gonna try to dump it on that target. We'll start slow and speed it up. Oh my gosh, this thing's so cool. It's got a mil-spec AR trigger. You can put whatever you want in there. So I'll probably end up putting some really light trigger to get this thing even faster. Maybe I shouldn't, because this round's kind of expensive. Gosh, I love it, man. I love it, love it. I mean, seriously, the more I shoot, the more I want to call it my favorite right here and right now, but price per round is the only thing going to limit me on this But if it gets more adapted, no reason this wouldn't be my favorite little PCC type pistol. All right, so we're on the number 2 slot, and I gotta say, between number 1 and 2, it just is gonna depend on the day and how I'm feeling on that particular day. They're kind of interchangeable. I try to keep price in mind when I decided number 1, as I'll discuss when we get there. But number 2 is my B&T APC9K. Man, it's awesome. Now, this one's a little bit more expensive in the way it's equipped with the tail hook brace and everything. You could get the same SB Tactical side folders that I've been showing, but in my opinion, this gun's so tiny, it's really cool to have this collapsible tail hook. The price of this tail hook brace is almost the price of like a Stribog. So that's kind of sad when you put it that way. But as a cohesive package, it is pretty darn cool. Chambered in 9mm. Let's go ahead and do it. There we go. Oh, I had to miss that last one. All right, 5 supersonic. Go to the rocks. Yeah, man, that feels great suppressed. I mean, there's a big difference there. Subsonic. And into the rocks. Oh yeah, very cool. That smoke show should end as the suppressor heats up and clears all that oil. All right, for my number 1 spot, may surprise some people, may not surprise other people. It's the Palmetto State Armory, so the PSA AK-V9. It's a 9mm AK with a couple little different ergonomics. It has last round bolt hold open with the bolt release or bolt lock, depending on if you push up or down. Threaded 1/2x28, so of course we're gonna suppress it a little bit later. Overall, it's freaking cool. It's a 9mm AK, which sounds like it would be a good time, but not until you shoot it do you realize it's better than the sum of its parts. So we could of course go under like an operator, release it here, or even press down here. Pretty cool. Yeah, so it like does jolt a little bit more, but the cool thing is it doesn't rise. Maybe that's because of that muzzle device. So you could, let's just do 2 real quickly here. So it stays on target, but it kind of rattles pretty good. The party trick, as you may have seen on a 5 Plinkers video a while back, PewView, may know him on Instagram, came out and he was pretty good at this. He showed me that this thing can bump pretty darn well. Let's see if I can do it. No pressure, take some practice. Oh, almost. Almost got them all. All right. Go into the dirt. Pretty quiet. Wondering if it bumps still. Yeah, it still bumps. Subsonic. Very, very cool. Thing I like about it is the price is also not too bad. They were hard to get for a while, but I'm starting to see them trickle back in stock. But their price isn't bad on them. And overall, the quality is great. You know, there's not a whole lot of plastics on an AK, of course, except furniture like this right here, pistol grip. I will say though, although I put it in the number 1 spot today, like I said, it's just kind of always changing. It just kind of depends. That B&T is awesome, but I'm trying to keep in mind how much money is into it. And this is about 1/3 of that. And so is the Stribog, and those are really cool as well. So you don't need to spend the big bucks. Then again, if price per round's not concerned, then that Diamondback DBX57 is cool. PCC type pistols, always a very cool category. For recreational plinking, bedside, I don't know, the applications are endless. Truck guns, certainly, very, very cool. But just come out here and have some fun, especially once suppressed with subsonics. These things are so damn cool. And so that reminds me, again, big thanks to Silencer Shop for sponsoring this video. Love that they want to jump on board with what I'm doing here, because I've personally been using them for years. So again, thanks Silencer Shop. And yeah, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.